Welcome back. It's time now for Legends Agenda with Billy Moore and Steve Blocker Roach. Legends, how are we?
We're going good, mate. We're going good.
Quickly, before we start, Blocker, inducted into the New South Wales Hall of Fame. We're going to get... well
Thank
done.
you, boys.
Congratulations,
Well done,
mate. We're going to get touch on it a little bit later, but still, just quickly, it must have been pretty special, right?
There's a new word in the dictionary now. I'm humbleised. All those great players, they were all my heroes, and, you know, mate, what an honour. Great for the
Go on,
family.
you Blocker, you deserve it. Now,
Thanks, mate.
we've got Billy going for 3 in a row. We've got a new South Wales coach. You blokes are both confident that your respective teams can get this done. I'll start with you, Billy. Why?
Why? The stability, the combination that already exists in the spine. Obviously, Munster's out, but Dearden's in, and he's been there before. The thing I really like about the whole picture, though, is the coaching staff led by Billy Slater. Billy Slater and complacency don't go together. He worries about the 1%ers. He's looking to always improve. Last year's win is last year's win. It's irrelevant. We don't deserve to win 2024. We've got to go and earn it. He knows that. And those little habits that he had as a player, that permeates through the group. And I reckon he's just the bloke to get us where we need to be.
Well, Paddy Carrigan actually mentioned that at the start of the interview. He said, you know, it was all about this year. Sort of put last year behind already. Blocking New South Wales?
You know what I like? I like with Madge Maguire, no one's safe. It's a whole new ball game now. He's come and he's turned it on its head. I'll give you a little example. Like last Monday night, they had with all the old players and the team there, and they did a special tribute to the great Steve Mortimer.
Yeah, nice.
So, mate, it was very touching. You could, you know when you can feel that sort of thing. The great thing about Origin, and it's the same every year, is the pressure of the unknown. Now, New South Wales have got 6 rookies. Mate, you either sink or you swim. So I'd rather have me 6 rookies at home playing in this game, get the feel of Origin. I'd never have 6 rookies playing in the debut games up there in Queensland. I don't know, there's a different feel now. Yeah. Not Freddie, I love Freddie, don't get me wrong, but he's turned everything on its head. And there's a more seriousness there or something.
You were there. Turvey kissed the field.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a trophy.
But did he stop the bus going down Caxton Street?
He did. Mate, we're only young 21, 22-year-olds. We're only boys. And Steve Mortimer, with his tenacious... the way that he played the game, mate. I remember when he stopped the bus and all that sort of stuff and said, look, these blokes hate us. You've got to understand. You've got to understand.
Right in front of the Caxton Street
Right in front
pub.
of... There's 5,000 there throwing cans at us on the bus. But I'll tell you, in the last game in 85 to win the series, now this is how tenacious he was. He was taking hit-ups with 15 minutes to go. Actual hit-ups off the ruck. And I'm going, mate, this bloke is unbelievable. What about his will to win?
Origin started for us in 1980. Origin started for you in 85.
Yeah.
That's how pivotal that moment was. Steve Mortimer was Arthur Beetson.
Unbelievable.
Is there still hatred in Origin? Is the hatred the same as what it used to be? Can you see it there this year in this series? Or
I honestly believe when you go back into the era of the 80s, when you have the Arthur Beetsons, that was a special level of hatred because it was built over decades. Queensland never won a series for 23 years consecutively. It was unbelievable. And it built a special breed. And when you got people like Chris Close, and then later on you had someone like Peter Jackson, they personified that Queensland needed to lift and find something special. So that bred a special attitude. The hatred's probably not there from a player's point of view, but I can tell you from fans, it has not changed. And that's what makes Origin so special. It's the fans.
Do you know, for anyone to say that, you know what I say to them? Go and take a hit up. See if the feeling's still not there. You ask anyone that's played Origin, you ask anyone. I mean, the feeling is there all the time, whether you're fighting or not.
Yes.
It's just amazing. For a reason, it's the pinnacle because it's the best of the best. And yes, here we go. Billy, mate, you watch Billy go here. Mate, you picked on my old teammate Dave Barnell here.
What did he say? Let's dance. He said, let's dance. I said, righto, let's go. I threw 100 punches, they all missed. What about this one here? Whooshka.
that's gold.
But you know, the fans love it. They feel it because they realise how much it means to us, how much it means to you, to you and to you. To play Origin is your dream. And have that opportunity. These 34 blokes next Wednesday night, they're living their dream. I don't care if you're playing one or you're playing your 30th game. If it's your dream, you represent your state.
You know how I describe it? Everyone, say there's 80,000 in the stand, either at Lang Park or at down here in Sydney. The 80,000 people want to be you. The people who are watching those guys play
The only game.
They want to be you.
Yeah.
It's emotional, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always want to be a player until you go in the dressing room after the game and watch what they put their bodies through. And I go, geez, I'm glad I'm retired. But
I can get out of bed on Monday.
Yeah, it's
Billy,
amazing.
you think it's going to be one of the quickest, fastest origins of all time?
Well, I think the way the game's evolving, it's getting faster, and you hear the players like Carrigan and the co talk about keeping the ball in play. The way our game is evolving, it's a magnificent entertainment product, but what it takes is the fitness levels are through the roof, and it's changing the player. A 95-kilo player is going to represent Queensland in the front row, Ruben Cotter.
Yep.
And 94 kilos at his heart.
Yeah.
It's amazing what sort of player he is. But the game's evolving, the speed's quickened up, and that's why our two-hooker policy will, I think, suit the game. The fact that Cobbo's on the bench, it shows the game's evolving constantly. HIA's involved, all these sort of things. And Slater, the 1%ers I talk about, Slater's constantly looking to improve and to improvise. How do we get better? But this game will be the most tackles ever made. It'll be the fastest ever game. It's going to be spectacular, and the ball in play
I'll tell you what it
will be
is,
the
Billy.
highest level.
It's a test of character. Your character, personal character. You'll get found out. If you haven't got the character to play in Origin, you'll get found out.
Now, New South Wales have named it a tough team, but do they lack a little bit of X factor?
I'm worried a little bit because we're down to our fifth and sixth halves. That's the thing. I mean, you have a look at all Origin games have been won by the 6 and the 7 virtually. Premierships, state of Origins. I mean, the war of attrition, and obviously, and the wearing down the opposition, all that. But at the end of the day, the kicking game, short kicking game of the best side that plays on that day generally wins, and it's won by one of the halves.
I think Maguire has picked the team he wants. You mentioned about his intensity. For him, the X factor is almost second. And you wouldn't think that sounds like such a strange comment, but it's almost secondary. He wants people that are hungry.
Yeah.
He wants people that will do anything it takes to win.
Still got to be good enough to win the game.
But I think he believes, because the game's going to be so fast.
But I don't believe anyone that plays Origin isn't hungry. It's just different levels of it. Well, whether you can handle it.
And we'll see. The big question for me is whether the 6 and 7 for New South Wales combine or clash. No one knows that yet. But
if they win, what will we be saying?
Great decision.
Yeah, what if they lose?
Exactly.
Then who gets the blame?
It always depends on the result, and then we'll be talking about it next week.
Roach, instructions were he's going to take it right out of some open spaces.
Now Roach down the blind side, trying to wrestle his way. Look at the strong man.
Elias for Roach. Great ball around the back from Maguire. Trying to link up, can he? Yes, he does. To big Steve Roach. Look at the big fella going down the field. He's got Mark McGowan. And this will be a try again.
Welcome back, Blocker. A pretty special night on Monday night for you. I mentioned it before, inducted into the New South Wales Hall of Fame. Just watched a few of your highlights there. What did it mean to you? It must have been a great night for you.
A great night for the family. I looked up on that wall and I saw all the greats, like Langlands and Fulton. The greatest thing ever happened to me in footy was to meet all those guys. They were my heroes. I loved the game when I was a 7-year-old to start to play it, and I love the game now. So, mate, it was a great honour. More so for my wife, Kathy, and my sons and that, they were there. And, mate, it was just, it was just a big night. I never sort of looked at myself in that regard that I was sort of in that sort of class. I was very nervous on the stage. I couldn't really believe I was there, but,
And Michael O'Connor got inducted with you?
Michael O'Connor, what a great player. Mick O'Connor kicked that gold from the sideline in the pouring rain for New South Wales to win one of their series. I think it's only the second time we've ever prayed. Please, Michael, put that on. Was at the cricket ground, So, yeah, it was unreal.
All of us as kids, we used to get up. I was 7 when the first game was played.
Yeah.
But all our heroes played Origin. That's where you made your name. What are some of the greatest names that you've played with or against at Origin level?
Do you know what, mate? It'd be really disrespectful to just name a few, but I played with some great players. Peter Sterling, Kenny, Stevie Mortimer. He's not doing that great at the moment. And then I went into other eras too, and I played with Freddie and I played with Laurie Daly. And I don't know, mate. It'd be hard just to mention a few because I loved it so much. And mate, all I wanted to be was the bloke said, mate, I don't mind playing with this bloke. Yeah. That was the whole thing.
Which Queensland player did you find was your biggest adversary?
Oh, mate, who was the biggest handful that probably never, ever reached his potential of what he could have been? He was a great, great player with Sam Bacco. Mate, a powerful. I don't know if you think back to Test matches against the Poms. He scored 3 tries. He's the only front row forward ever to score 3 tries against the Poms in 3 separate Test matches. Made a super handful, super strong man. But mate, I played against them all. They were all great players. Wally Lewis, Gene Miles. Chris Close, all those sort of guys.
What about when you first got told that you were going to play for New South Wales and then your debut? Do you remember much about that, and what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, not really. My debut was against Queensland at Lang Park. I can't call it Sunburnt Stadium, but the other thing was I was playing with Craig Young, who's one of my heroes when I was growing up. He was another Wollongong bloke, and he'd already won premierships. And mate, I'll tell you the honest truth. All I wanted to be was to be accepted by him. Yeah. To say, mate, this guy's all right. But in saying that, he took the second hit up from the kickoff and got knocked out by Dave Brown. And they were the days of the sponges. And I think I was sponging him off, going, please get up. I don't want to be here alone, But no, I loved every minute. I loved all the blokes I played with, and mate, Benny, Crusher Clue, great ball runner, Zero, all those guys.
There's 6 rookies playing next Wednesday night. Your first game, when you first took the field, did Origin blow you away?
I did, mate, yeah. But I played in the 18s for the very first Origin side for New South Wales against Queensland, and we sat on the side, and I'll never forget it. I saw Arthur Beetson run out with a black boot polish and snot and stuff all coming out of him, and he bashed everyone but the ball boy that day, Arthur. And I thought, geez, mate, am I ever going to be good enough to play in here, in this arena? But, mate, you get the opportunity, and, mate, rest is history.
You weren't only good enough, you're now in the Hall of Fame, and
thanks,
we all love you here at Fox League, mate. Congratulations to you. You deserve it.
Appreciate it, boys.
I'm lucky to be surrounded by 3 Origin legends tonight. Thank you, Blocker, and thank you, Billy.